Welcome to a ScrunchieSims video. In the past, I have had my friend and roommate Amelia do my voiceover for one of my builds, and another one of my friends saw this and thought she might want to get involved. So my friend Bernie has sent me a photo of a house I'm supposed to build. And the thing is, I haven't looked at it yet. So I'm going to go into my Gmail and see what it is. Okay. You have an email from Bernie that says, build this house. And I'm going to cover it up so I don't see what it is until the very end. Okay, my dear friend, I have attached photos of the house in which I hope for you to recreate. Bernie, there's some grammar issues in this note. I'm not expecting perfection, but I am expecting dedication. As you may notice, it is in fact a house from Bear and the Big Blue House. I look forward to seeing your creation. Best, Bernie. Okay, I'm gonna look at it. Okay, it is in fact a big blue house. This feels doable. I feel okay about this. Okay, and the inside. This does feel doable. This is not as bad as I thought it would be. I thought it might be like Jeffree Star's mansion or something. It is not, thank God. No one ever had me do that, so I won't. I will refuse. I will revolt. Okay, here's the thing. I have actually never watched Bear in the Big Blue House. I know it is a cartoon, not a cartoon. It's like a puppet. What is it? Bear in the Big Blue House. Oh yeah, that's the puppet one. I actually never watched that one. I don't know why. Oh, this is the one where he sings to the moon. I've seen things about this. Yeah, 97. I should have watched this. I don't know why, so I miss all the cultural references. I kind of remember it. This has no nostalgia for me, and therefore I can be ruthless. Okay, well, clearly this is dear to my friend Bernie, and therefore I don't want to mess it up. But it is very dollhouse style, so I think it'll be okay. There are some elements such as a turning staircase that we don't have in the game, and I feel like a lot of recreating it relies on this very specific color schemes, which I don't have a ton of control over, like the individual wallpapers being the same. But she did tell me she was not expecting perfection, just dedication. So here I am making this house. I was trying to get the general proportions of it more correct. So you'll see me kind of playing around with like, how big should this be? And I kind of wound up with a bigger floor plan than I think the house would be. Or I guess more correctly, I think the total house makes sense to be this size, but each room is kind of like large for what it is, or at least most of them are. And I played with this staircase. There's this kind of like, it should have a landing in the real one. It's like a boop boop kind of stair instead of just straight up one. But I used a spiral staircase instead because I figured that would mimic it the best. And for a while I was trying to get this attic situation because this section is like very much an attic. It's like kind of a dormer thing with a window in it, but I was just not getting it to work with the stairs and how much space I needed inside. So I decided to kind of do my own thing, just make it a room and try to make the roof as like cohesive as possible while still having and being able to have a room up there. And so you see I'm realizing everything should be a bit wider to accommodate this and keep the general floor plan of the house. I realized that by making my entryway 2 tiles instead of 1, I had created a situation, or instead of 3 I guess was another consideration, created a situation where I needed a 2 tile wide door. So that's why we wind up with this kind of medieval looking guy over here. When maybe a different one would have sufficed a bit better, but this was the one that was the right shape and kind of the right color, but at least the right size. The good news is that most of the things in this are pretty like basic house things that are already existing in the game or I have CC for. You see me fixing the roof because I made the house smaller. So it works like the windows match up pretty well. I didn't have like a small, again it's that 2 tile instead of 1 tile thing for the attic, a small window, so I used that kind of more Art Nouveau style one, but I think it works out. It like proportionally looks correct. But yeah, like the actual like porch, railings and stuff like that, the stairs, the windows, all of that is already in the game because it's kind of like a basic American style house. So it was all already there. So now I start my extensive hunt for wallpaper. And the thing about the Bear in the Big Blue, wow, that's a hard thing to say. I kind of can't believe they made like a children's show that difficult to say. Like you're just learning how to say things, and now you've got to say a difficult thing like Bear in the Big Blue House. It's a tongue twister. Anyway, I'm trying to look at two-tone walls because in the original, the wall is mostly one color, like that green on the right over there, or that teal in the upper bedroom. And then it has kind of this big molding stripe that in real life I think would be like in a room that has a picture rail. The painting above that is a different color than the rest of it. I think that's like in real life the equivalent of what that would be. But we don't really have that in The Sims, and I didn't like hunt after CC to go do this because it was all about like what could I do with my best approximation. So I kind of just went for like what's the general tone, like what's the basic color of this, but I would have loved to bring in that sort of peachy pink that I remember seeing at the top of each of the rooms. And I also considered a lot of different floorings because for a lot of the photo there's this kind of like vaguely maybe floral looking, but it's like kind of beigey, so I wasn't sure if it was this like weird carpet or if it was wood like this. I wound up going with wood because none of the carpet patterns really felt like the right thing, you know, it just didn't feel right. They were kind of busy and I wanted them to be busy, but they were like busy in the wrong way. The really awesome thing is these windows come in all the right colors that the molding should be. So I just changed each one to a different color and it was absolutely perfect and accurate for the thing. And I added that bump out to be a little more accurate in the bathroom upstairs. And then this other window matches it perfectly and is the right shape. Really great. I was also really happy that I could bring some of that like minty teal color into the cabinets with this like country cabinet color swatch there. I tried to find a like kind of simple patterned curtain there that wouldn't cover up the arch at the top because I didn't like, it's an arched window, you can clearly see in the picture. But I didn't want to then like cover it up with a curtain. And I'm just kind of trying to make the furniture not necessarily match itself in the room, but just like when I take the final photo, like will it kind of look like that? So I was really at this point realizing that I was gonna have to design this thing based a lot more on like this head-on photo that I was going to like try to recreate at the end and not necessarily a functional Sims build. And there are a few moments you're gonna see that like, oh yeah, this would not work in an actual Sims build. You know, there's a lack of things in this kitchen for sure. Stuff like that. But overall, I do think it's more important with this kind of thing to like not create a livable house. That was not the challenge. Just like, can I recreate the vibe and the photo of this thing? So I'm looking for the perfect staircase painting, and I feel like there were so many options, and yet I found the right one. And I realized I had this issue with the doorway. Talk about not livable. But I couldn't put a door next to the stairs like there probably would be in real life. So I took away the door for a second. You'll see later I put it back behind the stairs and take away that dresser in the stairway. And I think that worked. Technically that makes it like walk-inable, but I couldn't make that thing show up there with the stairs and the door. Maybe had I thought that one through a little bit more, I would have made the whole thing like longer, the whole build longer by one tile so I could move the stairs back. But I did not think of that, and I was not about to redo the whole house for that reason. That is one thing. I mean, I love The Sims 2, obviously, but like, man, in the newer games, it is so great to just be able to drag walls instead of redo the entire thing. That is, like, if I could choose one feature to put into Sims 2, it would absolutely be that, hands down. like life absolutely made. I also couldn't recreate all the furniture. The bed was super close because there's a pink frame for it, but there's not a lot of pink swatches for other furniture. So I kind of had to just make do with what I had, but I do think this like turned out pretty well as a room in general. Although again, it suffers from that thing of like, oh my god, this room is huge and no one would ever make this room this huge if they were actually like trying to make something. And so I sort of started to think about like, okay, I see a weird squiggle or like half of a pixel somewhere. Maybe that's a vanity in the back, which is probably not really in the photo, but since the photo was so small, it was kind of hard to see. And it felt like the room was kind of blank, so I started taking a little bit of liberties to fill it up a little bit more. Now, talk about taking the cake. This bathroom is huge. So again, like putting that partition in there, that's probably not actually in there in life, but like I just needed something to break up the space just visually. And maybe that's going a little too far. Maybe I should keep it a little more accurate, but you know, it's about like your first glance when you look at a thing, and sometimes you just like need something to fill space in a corner. I am super happy with the flooring there because I feel like it looks like exactly the vibe that I got from the original house. And the attic room. Now this concept of the attic room reminds me a ton of the attic in the Goth's house, because it just kind of looks kind of bare and has like some wood furniture in it. Kind of in black, or at least it looks black in the screenshot. And I decided in the end I would just do a little bit of landscaping, even though there's actually like no landscaping in the original photo. I just decided it would be better to have a little bit of something there for people to look at. So then I showed my friend Bernie. Hello, Bernie.
Hello, Sonder.
Can I have you open your sealed email that says do not open?
The one that says don't open, I can open it now.
Great, yeah.
I'm still looking at just like the front of the house, like I'm still
Okay.
taking it in.
Taking in the blueness and the bigness of the house.
Yeah, you just like, big blue house. Oh my god, the inside. Shut up. Oh my god.
I want you to know that to take the photos like that, I deleted the entirety of the front of the house.
Alright, I guess we should just go like room to room.
Yeah, let's go room to room.
You nailed the windows. I mean, like, nearly identical. Nearly identical. I think this room you nailed it. Like, there's nothing else I could want from this room. I really like the choice of the flooring because you can't really see the flooring in the picture, so I really like that artistic choice that you made. Okay, so I think this is good. I do have a few things. The only thing that I'm really missing from this is like the pink molding that goes around the top.
Yes. Me alone, was quite limited by the fact that that does not exist in The Sims, at least in this version.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There was very limited two-tone walls, and none of them were really hitting, you know?
Yeah, well, that's on Sims, so I'm glad you made do with what you had.
I made with what I do.
I'm so sorry. I think, like, the bed is just, like, absurdly spot on. Now I feel like that bed was just put in Sims just to look like the bed that was in Bear in the Big Blue House.
You should know that this is the shittiest bed in the game, and it's the only one that comes in pink.
You know what? It's the best bed for this room. So, in terms of the bookshelf, I would have liked, like, a lighter wood color, as opposed to the darker one. And I love that little painting of the two cows.
Oh.
Lambs, or wherever they are, sheep.
I think I thought it was a solo cow against a sky.
It's two. It's two, like, they're gently caressing one another.
Oh.
It's true love.
Wow. I think the Sims 2 community is going to be very shook by this news.
I hope so. I really do hope so. Alright, let's move to the bathroom.
The largest bathroom in the history of existence, by the way.
So big. Privacy partition in the back. Chef's kiss. Love the tile that you chose. I think you pretty much nailed all of the furniture that's in it in terms of, like, the pearl white bath and toilet and sink. Um, yeah, all I'm missing is a little cabinet that's
Mm,
like right next to the door. And I
yeah.
think that's really like the only thing for me that's missing from this. But otherwise, what's that black thing?
Oh, that's actually a dog statue. There's some kind of black squiggle on the real thing, and it kind of looks like an urn statue.
Oh, it's like a vase, yeah.
But the one that was in game that was shaped like that was really big and upsetting looking, and so I went for the similar scale, different shape.
I appreciate it though. It's a risk. It's a risk that you took. Kitchen. Again, I know you said it was tough with like the colors in terms of like the limits of Sims and what you can and can't build. So I will absolutely take that into consideration. You nailed the like semicircle window that's
Ugh.
there. Like, that's so spot on. I'm screaming. That's so good. You nailed like all of the colors in the room despite the limitations. Again, another really great choice of flooring. You definitely took hints of what you could see from the original photo, and I like that you kind of just like added your own little flair to it, and I can really appreciate that.
Right. I do
But
think this is the most functional room if you were actually playing The Sims. I think this might be the most real room.
right, is there an oven in this room?
There is no oven. That's probably a functionality issue, but yeah, I didn't see one, so I wasn't sure where to put it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went without, I went fully for this is a visual house, not a functional house.
Right. You know what? It's
Um,
okay because it was just a bunch of puppets. And then we have like the living room, family room setting. Great choice of wall color. Really nailed that. I see where you were going, and I followed. You know what I'm saying?
you
Like, I
followed.
saw where you were going, and I followed. Window, great. The furniture, yeah, the furniture is pretty, just like perfect. No, I think this is great. Oh, you did a little back. You did a bonus
I did.
back.
I wanted to show you how incredibly messed up the back of this house would be. Because it's like under the facade of normalcy. I mean, maybe that arched window is supposed to be a door, but I see no evidence of this.
I agree. There's no evidence that it's a door. Oh, I should also comment on stairs because I haven't done that yet.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, comment
wow.
on the stairs.
Um, I think the picture. What is the picture that you chose?
It's just kind of some abstract dots.
Oh, for some reason I thought it was a slug.
Oh, it kind of looks like a slug.
You can see like the two like little.
Like a white slug on like a red
Yeah,
background.
yeah.
Wow. You're really entering some new takes into the Sims 2 like default paintings world right now.
All in all, I'm extremely impressed. I really did give you a really hard task of recreating this very pixelated photo.
Incredibly small photo.
I'm very impressed.
Oh,
Very, very
I'm so
impressed.
relieved.